Hello, hello. Good evening and welcome to our Tuesday evening live training call, Whole Team Winning. My name's Emma Karen. I'm a Presidential Marketing Director in the Juice Plus company. This is Marley. Say hi, Marley. That's Marley. I'm definitely in my pyjamas, but what a great way to do business. And tonight we have the amazing Maryum, who is an NMD for Juice Plus. I can't even speak properly tonight. And she won Rising Star of the Year 2018, and she has agreed to come on with us tonight. So I am so excited to have her on. Hello, everybody. So I'm going to try and add right now. Marley's decided to join us. Here we go. Right. Everything works really well. Need to plug the phone in on charge before the battery dies. Hello.
Hiya, you okay?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh my God, this is the first... Oh, I've just turned the light off. Hang on. Plug in the charger and I've taken off that. Hang on. This is the first week that it's worked, and it's worked straight away. I'm super impressed. It's obviously a reason why you win awards. You're very organised and amazing. How are you? Are you okay? Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right.
Good.
If I sound a
Everybody's
bit
just...
blue, it's because I've got a sore throat.
Oh no, have you? Is that from all that excitement on stage?
Yeah, I think with all the screaming, it's just taking a bit longer to recover.
Double capsules needed.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Ellie's on here supporting you. Woohoo! I see you, Ellie. So we just wait for people to jump on, but it is on time and the call is filling up. So I think we probably just best getting started. So you've obviously got an amazing story, and you touched a little bit on stage about how you were stuck at STD, joined the business, didn't even know what you had joined, etc. And you were stuck at some positions. I'm about to tell your whole story, so I need to stop talking. But I just wondered if you could just share with everyone that's online just like a basic outline of your story.
Okay,
I'm going to put the phone down because I'm going to be writing notes as well, so don't think I'm being rude if we go blank. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so I joined the company 3 years ago. I seen the girl posting a couple of times on Facebook, and then I just private messaged her, and I just says to her that I wanted to join her team, and what is it that I needed to do. So she just explained to me that it was about sharing success stories, which I was fine with because I was at home on maternity leave with my little girl who was 11 weeks old at the time, and obviously I live with in-laws as well. So it was just, for me, it came at the perfect time because I just needed that adult conversation and I needed to be part of something, and I've always worked, so for me it was just an ideal opportunity from home as well. And then so I got started, got my franchise ID, and then I said to her, what company is it that we're working for? So she said it was Juice Plus, so I just quickly Googled it and did a bit of research, and then that was it. Got started, didn't really know what I was doing, and then I hit my first promotion and STD promotion in the same month, but not in my first month, in my second month. Then I was stuck for about a good year because I was just plodding along. I didn't really join for financial reasons, so I didn't have that urge to be earning more or anything like that. I just kind of just got on with it. Was getting consistent amount of customers each month, so I didn't really like dream big, as they say. And then in the second year, I hit SC. So this time last year I was SC, and I'd been SC for about a year. And then I think it was 2 months, so November and December of last year. So not last, 2017, I think it was, I had missed out on SSC by like a couple of £100, and because I didn't actually understand pay lines or anything like that, that kind of annoyed me. And then in January January just gone, we decided that we were going to rebrand to the Female Revolution. So we literally rebranded, and that was it. That represented us, that represented my team. And then that I literally went from SC to NMD, hit NMD on the 1st of November, and then got the DSA award for Rising Star of the Year on the 2nd of November. And yeah, the team's just gone from it's just gone from strength to strength, really, and that's kind of like my story.
It's amazing. It's so amazing. And obviously, when you joined, you didn't have any idea, like you said, you didn't have any idea of what you could achieve. And now, like, look at it's amazing. Everyone wants Maryum in their team. That is for sure. So, have you got any big goals for this year?
This year the aim is to get minimum 5 NMDs in my own team, and potentially more. We've been goal setting, so we'll see where we stand when we get to Brighton. But yeah, the more people on that plane to Dubai, the better. So everyone's aiming for Dubai. But yeah, that's my aim.
And it's so, oh, sorry. Oh, I've got cramp in my leg. Oh my God, I've got cramp. It's so amazing. You can see how team focused you really are. And like you talk about your team so much. And we'll come on to that. Obviously, the female revolution represents you guys, and we'll understand a little bit more about that. But you said that you focused at the beginning mainly on just getting regular customers. You didn't really know the bigger details. So everybody keeps asking me, how does she get her customers? What is she doing? So could you share with us how you started at the beginning, maybe getting your customers?
I think 3 years ago, Facebook was very different compared to what it is now. So at the time, what some of you guys would call spamming, that's what I was doing. But you've got to realize, like, my audience is different, so they didn't mind me constantly posting about Juice Plus, if that makes sense. So you've got to obviously realize who your audience is and who you're targeting. So for me, it was obviously the Asian community, so Asian ladies and stuff. So literally all I was doing was posting practically every hour, sometimes more than that, once every hour, like different testimonials. So to begin with, like 3 years ago, that is what I was doing, to the point where my sister actually said to me, she said, Maryum, is that all you do? You're always on Facebook. Like, what are you doing? And I could have let that get to me, but I didn't. And that was the month that I actually hit DD and SDD. So I always remember that. But at that time, 3 years ago, I was actually tagging a lot as well. And a lot of people didn't mind. I did get a few negative comments and etc. But like to say, delete and block. So I'm not going to let them affect my business. So yeah, at the beginning, it was a lot of tagging, a lot of posting, and a lot of time. But obviously, I was on maternity leave, so I did have the time to be on Facebook all the time. Now it's a little bit different the way that I post, because obviously you've got to kind of move on with time. But it is the same in the sense that we do still post a lot of testimonials, but we try to incorporate more about our lifestyle as well. But in terms of getting customers, for me, that is what sells. People want to see results. But again, my people want to see results. So you have to know your audience and who you're adding and who you're talking to, because they might not necessarily want to see that on your page all the time. But for me, it was a case of results sell. And that was what was working, and it still does work for us, because I've got people in my team that are posting 50, 60 times a day, because that is what works for them, and that's how they get their customers. So it is, I mean, I wouldn't have the time to do that myself, but I do try to post a lot, and it depends on the time of the days, because a lot of like my team are mums, so we find pockets of time, and that's when we get posting. And obviously it's got to fit in around the times that Facebook that our audience is online. That's how we kind of get customers. We post a lot, we add a lot. Literally, we add like 100 people. Like, that is our standard. So 100 people every single day. No matter how busy you are, no matter whatever's going on in life, 100 people every single day minimum. Because if you don't have an audience and you don't have fresh eyes on your Facebook, there's no way you're going to be getting inquiries, never mind orders.
Yeah, and you know what? So many people say, I don't understand, it's not working for me. And it is a numbers game, right? The more people that you speak to, the more it's nothing secret, nothing. You guys obviously have a very specific target audience that you relate to and relate back to you, right? Some people don't have that so much. Maybe they need to think about who their audience is, who they at the beginning, mine was always single mums. Like, that's who I wanted to reach out to, mums, people that hated men. That was kind of my my market. but
Mhm.
many of these girls are getting 40 orders plus a month. And sorry, Ellie just commented, and that's obviously because you girls are working the numbers game, right? So the more people you speak to, the more people that you add, the more chance percentages you've got of getting orders. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I just think you've got to believe in yourself and you have to push yourself to speak to more people. So, for example, there's 17 days of the month left. That is enough time for you to change it completely. So, if you're not having the month that you're having at the moment, that doesn't mean you write off the month. Like, usually at the beginning of the month, it does go a bit slower. And then middle of the month does kind of quiet and down because everyone's like just waiting on getting paid, etc. But that doesn't mean that you slow down. That just means you build and you continue to plant the seed. And so, do you know what I mean? And you've just got to keep on going so that when it does boom, you'll then get them orders. You can't just disappear and just think, oh well, it's slow this month. If it's not working for you, it's not that it's not working, it's just that you are not being patient. You've just got to keep on going. Like, there's some months that are a little bit slower, or, well, to be honest, we always say that they're a little bit slower, but then towards the end, like when we push ourselves, we'll get them orders because we know that we can do it. So it's not about that, or it's just not working for you. Just change it up. If something's not working, then you've got to change it up. So, for example, like, if you're only posting maybe 10 posts a day and it's not working and you're not getting the orders, then post more. Go talk to more people. If you're only talking to 2 people a day and you're thinking, I've not got that many orders this month, go and talk to 5 people a day, go and talk to 10 people a day. Like, it doesn't take much to build your business, but you've just got to put that extra effort in. Even if it means getting up half an hour earlier, going to bed half an hour later. Like, I get up early, obviously, to go to the gym. I've got 3 kids, so I will find pockets of time in the day to do what I need to do with my business. But when it comes to the evening, when they're in bed, that's it. So it's gone from being like a power hour to a power evening. Like, I will spend a good few hours on my business, following up on like the likes, on the comments. You've got to do whatever it takes for your business. No one else is going to do it for you, but you've got to spend that time. And that time shouldn't be spent with EastEnders on in the background, or having lunch and then working on your business half-heartedly. It's got to be where you're not doing absolutely nothing else other than you, your phone, your notepad, your pen, and you're just working on your business, because it's not a hobby, it's an actual business, and you've got to take it seriously. But yeah.
I love that. I love what you said. It's so true. And I remember saying when we were talking about it before, like, we used to do 7 to 11 club. So kids in bed. I mean, I'd love mine if they were actually in bed by 7, but maybe like by 8:15, the kids are in bed, stuff's ready for school. And then like it's literally shutting the door and saying, I'm going to work now. Like, as if you were going to work at Marks and Spencer's, you wouldn't be able to do anything else. It would be, I'm going to work now and that's all I can do. So, I mean, there's been evenings where I've gone and sat in my car just so I can get some peace and sit and solidly work, you know. In the past, I'd get a babysitter in and go and sit and work in the car so I could just sit and work solidly without any interruptions. So 100%. So that's why you guys are having so much success. So I've got loads of questions coming through about what specifics about what you're doing. So people are asking, do you cold message people? I know you said you chase likes. Carly, it was definitely your 7 to 11 club that we used to do. Just seeing Carly's online. So do you chase likes? Do you cold message people, or do you guys just build relationships?
Again, I prefer not to cold message, but I know people in the team that do cold message and they do get orders. Again, it comes back to your audience and who you're targeting. Some people cannot stand cold messaging. Some, obviously, even in network marketing, it's like frowned upon. But again, it depends on your audience. So I would never I always encourage my team not to cold message, but if it works for them, then I'm not going to discourage it. So it's entirely up to them. It's their business that they're running. I personally don't cold message, but I've got a team that does. And it's not even like a cold message. It's kind of like introducing themselves and their business, because at the end of the day, it's not a personal profile anymore. It's their shop window, so they can do their business however they choose to do it. Me personally, I follow likes. I follow up on my likes, follow up through my comments as well, see who's commented, and I interact every single day. Like, I've reached 5,000 friends, so they don't show up on my newsfeed, so I don't tend to scroll. Instead, every single day, and we do it as a team as well, minimum 20 to 30 people every single day that will go into our friend list, and we'll pick out 20, 30 people and interact with them by leaving a comment, not just liking or reacting on their post, actually leaving a comment or actually private messaging them, just so that they know that you exist. Because believe it or not, if you're on 5,000 friends, not all of them know that you actually exist. And even though even if I was posting 20, 30 posts a day, not all of them are going to see my posts. You know, that's just how it is. But it's network marketing. You're going to have to build relationships. You're going to have to speak to people. Obviously, that, like the happy birthdays, you know, every morning you'll get a list of whose birthday it is. Make sure that you do them. There's just little ways to consistently keep building. There's always something that you can be doing on your business. It's not just, well, I've added 100, I've posted 20 times, and I've interacted. There's no else I can do. You can go and interact with more people, because the more people you interact with in your friend list, the more like you're going to be known. They're gonna know that you exist. If they don't know you exist, they don't know what you're doing. And also, like, I personally target like makeup artists and the people that follow them, because obviously if you look good and want to feel good, etc., then our products are for you. So I always go into their pages and like and comment on their work, because if they've got over 100 likes on a transformation that they've done, you know, somebody's makeup transformation that they've done, and they've got like 200 likes on that, if I comment, then I know I'm going to be seen. That's just obviously who I target myself, but it just depends on who you target.
I love how honest you are, and I really appreciate that. It's nice to have that for everybody to understand what you do. And like you said, it is a very personal thing. So you obviously have worked out, I've said obviously about 100 times, you've worked out what works for you and what works for your audience and what works for people who relate to you. So it's about people finding their own way in the same way. So like who their audience are, like we said before, and interacting with that. Yeah. Doing everything and smashing it daily. Totally agree. Okay, so you started building a team. Obviously when you went to SD, building up to SD. So how are you recruiting? Is it in a similar way that you get customers?
Similar, yeah. I think like Sabi is obviously like my long-standing one. She's been with me like literally for the 3 years, and most of my team members are my customers. So they're my customers first, and then I literally just approach them, because I have a WhatsApp group for my customers, and usually if the customer is active in there and is on plan and enjoying it, like even like Sophia, one of my SSCs in the business, I literally just private messaged her and I just said, Sophia, you're doing incredibly well on plan. And I've seen that you're really active in the WhatsApp group. Let me know when you're ready to join my team. Like, I didn't beat around the bush. I just literally sent her that, and she was like, why? What is it you do? And it's funny because we literally talk about it now and we have a laugh about it, but she didn't have a clue about the business side of it. So you might think that everybody knows that it's a business, but a lot of people don't. So you have to tell them, even though they're a customer and they bought the products, they still might not know the business side of it. So it's up to you to share that with them. So usually, I mean, I do encourage it as well with my team and stuff. So obviously towards the 24th and the 25th of the month, because it's the rollover, we do tend to open it up to the customers as well. So we'll just post in there that if anybody is looking to earn an extra income, etc., feel free to drop a message to your rep, who will explain obviously how it works, the business side of it. But I just think there's just no room for shyness, and I think that's why I stalled for like the first 2 years of my business when I was stuck at SDD and then SC, because I was just too shy. I was just too like, oh no, what are people gonna think? No, I can't approach that person. They're just, you know, they're too high profile, or know what they're gonna think of me. But that is why I like just was where I was. And then I think because I got so frustrated with myself that I wasn't progressing, I just decided to speak to everybody. So it just kind of paid off. But you've just got to share the opportunity. Obviously, we do a lot of direct recruitment posts and indirect ones via like hashtags like work from anywhere, etc. You've just got to see what works for you. Like, share your lifestyle as well. If you're out with the kids, like there's people that are going to work that are leaving their kids, so share that, the fact that you are able to do that because of this business. Don't be like fake about it, but it's just little things that you can share, like me going out when I'm you know, going for a team meal, share that, because some people want that. That's what attracted me to the business at the time, because like I used to see Ellie and all the gang like having a laugh, and you know, like group pictures of like the team, and I wanted that because I was just stuck at home with a newborn and in-laws. So for me, that's what attracted me to the business. So that's why, like, even when we go for meals every month, we have a team meal. So we share that, and even the people that don't make it for the meal, they can share that, because it's just all about, we're all one team, we're united, and we'll share it so that people feel that they can be part of that. If that makes any sense.
No, it really does. Everything you said makes total sense. I think the WhatsApp group idea is just it works so well with the offering it to the team members. So, like you say, so many people don't know about the business, and then sometimes you'll get team members that will say, "Oh, so and so joined blah blah's business." It's like, okay, but have you offered them the opportunity? Well, no, not yet. So, you know, getting out there straight away and just saying, look, you're doing great, I'm saving a place for you, or I can't wait, or when you're ready, it's brilliant. It works. And then people can look into it more, or they can say, oh no thanks, not right now. Oh well, when you finish we'll talk about it again. You know, there's lots of ways to keep that conversation up. And obviously your guys' team spirit's amazing, and the way you come together, and lots of people join for different reasons, right? So I joined for money and just for something else other than being a mum. I wanted to remind myself that I was just more than a mum. You obviously joined for boredom. You didn't need the money. Lots of people join for different reasons. Some people just need a life, right? They need something to do and something to be part of. So you never know how much people need this business for different reasons. Financial reasons are not always the most important to people. If you're struggling to have a life, that might be what you really, really need, right?
Definitely. You've got to realize that not everybody is like you, but at the same time, there probably are people that are in similar situations to you. So you've just got to offer the opportunity, like just share it regardless of what people think. People do not pay your bills. And I think, again, that's why I was so stuck for like 2 years, because I was too conscious of what other people were thinking, or what are they going to, you know, say. And it used to play on my mind. But then when I missed out on SSC for like 2 months in a row, I thought, sod this, you know, I'm going to try harder now. Like, I know that I can do it. And then the team pulled together as well. And I think I stepped up as a leader. So then they felt that they had the right guidance at that point. And now we've had people join in, say, this time last year, that are at SSC level. And that's because we've made the mistakes. We've done the bit where you stall and you don't know what you're doing. So we're not going to allow that with our team. So anybody who comes in from day one will get the right guidance so that they can push through their promotions. Because ultimately the promotions are there, the bonuses are there for everyone. So they may as well collect them and build an incredible business. But they don't have to do it like 3 years like it took me. They can do it a lot quicker.
Yeah, and I remember you saying at the weekend, like everybody's saying that they've had a rough December. You were like, just don't relate, and it was just amazing, right? How you just
Do you know what
it's not your story.
Yeah, because I mean, even at the NMD meeting, everyone was like, "Oh, it was a bit of a slow month and stuff." But like every month for us, we always, like, some of us would say, "Oh my God, it's a bit slow." You know, I wonder what's happening. It's a bit slow. But then it all changes, because it is all in your mindset. When you believe it's slow, it's going to continue to be slow, because you're not actually going to be putting your full efforts in, because you think that it's slow. Like, we ended December on just over 450 orders. Like, that to some people was like, whoa, how did you manage that? But I needed to reconfirm my final NMD month, and I had other team members that needed to up their pay lines because they're going for bigger promotions. So we were going to make it happen regardless of what month it is. Like, for us, Ramadan is our month where you'd think it'd go quiet, but at that time, so last Ramadan was our busiest month ever, from obviously the month before that. Obviously we've had incredible months after that, but at that point, Ramadan, we were saying it's going to be slow. The first 2 weeks it was slow, and then Sabi created a package which was the gold package, but we just renamed it to the Ramadan package. Again, it's on marketing, and what we haven't got marketing experience, but it's just common sense as well. Like, you look at the time of the year and you kind of create a package based on what time of the year it is, Valentine's Day or Mother's Day or whatever. And do it that way, because it does get a bit boring, so you are going to have to change it up. If everyone's posting about gold, silver, bronze, or body transformation or whatever, do something different, make a poster. You know, they don't take long to make. Everything is literally at your fingertips. It's all free. You've got the free apps there that you can just create whatever you want to and post it, because this is your business and it's only you that will do it. No one's going to give you the poster and go, oh, there you go, just you've got to physically do it yourself. Just one second. Just keeps getting people phoning me at this time, but yeah. Oh God, why is it doing that? Sorry. So
That's
yeah,
all right.
it's just everyone keeps phoning me at this time. It's like our busy evenings. But yeah, so obviously
Sorry.
no, it's absolutely fine. But yeah, so it is down to you, and it's up to you how you market things. So for example, you've got Valentine's Day coming up. Obviously people are doing the January shred, etc. But you've got to see what works for you and your audience. Like, you wouldn't do it if it's not going to work. You know who your audience are, but never ever like limit your audience to some, like, don't make it too small of a target audience. Like, women in general, obviously for us it's the Asian community, but that's because we had that vision to share this opportunity and to share these products to the Asian community, because no one's really heard of it. But that's not obviously for everyone, so you've got to choose your audience and then just target them with what you think would work best.
100%. What you said just makes sense so much, and you say it in such a clear and like understanding way, so everybody knows like this is what they should do. No wonder the team is smashing it. So what would you say, so brand new person comes into the business and you're going to give them the 3 top tips of what they should do in their first 3 months?
Well, I tend to focus on, like, with me, Emma, it's kind of like, you know, when they come in and they've officially signed up now, we're gonna launch their business. I tend to have like a one-to-one call with them. So then I will explain my expectations based on obviously what they can commit to. So I think it's really important initially to have that one-to-one conversation, and it's not a voice note and it's not a message, it's an actual one-to-one call. Now, usually I always say, you know, bring a notepad, pen, and it's going to take around 20 minutes. Usually it goes over. But in that time, I actually determine what it is that person wants from this business. How much time have they got to work on the business? What is their financial goal? And even if they say something like, you know, 4,000 a month or 1,000 a month, then it's something that I can then work towards with them. But then I know how serious they're taking the business as well. So obviously, like, the 3 key things in this business are adding, posting, and interacting, because obviously if you don't do them, you don't have a business. It's not going to go anywhere. So I do make it clear to them that they've got to add every single day, they've got to post, and they've got to interact, because it's network marketing. But I just think it's key that from, like, usually as soon as a person signs up, within 24 hours, I will call them, because in that 24 hours is the key time where they're excited because they've joined something. And so that's the best time for you to kind of sit, like, have a chat with them and find out what is it that they want from this business, so that you can set the goal. So for me, it's always about getting them first 3 gold orders so that they've made the £50 back. And then they can obviously progress, and anything after that is profit anyway. Because I think it's really important just to let them know that, because some people either expect too much in the first month, like, we're going to earn £1,000 in the first month. It is totally doable, but it's going to take hard work and it's going to take a bit of effort. And if somebody hasn't got the time to do it, there's no point setting the bar so high. So it's really, really important for me to have that one-to-one with them, so that we can determine what they've actually got time to do and where we can fit in this business in their current lifestyle. So that one-to-one actually happens at the start. When they've decided that they're going to sign up, then within 24 hours, I'll have a one-to-one with them. And then I will tell them, obviously, I expect them to be adding 100 people every single day, posting and interaction. And then I catch up with them at least every like 48 hours. We'll have like a chit chat of where are we at. So that's how I kind of work with my team. But and that's how I work with like the new people that come into the business.
I think expectations and managing them are so important, because so many people sometimes join the business with this massive expectation and a completely understated idea of what the work ethic behind it is. So if you're setting the bar straight away that, listen, you need to do this, this, and this for this to happen, people can manage those expectations from day one. And then there's never this, oh, well, I thought I was going to earn £3,000 a month from posting on Facebook a few times a day. Well, it's not quite as simple as that. And the fact that you're doing it straight away, they say, don't they, you only get one chance to make a first impression. So straight away you're creating that influence on the phone, you're creating a bond. It, like you say, it's so much more personal when you're on the phone rather than that voice note.
Yeah,
it really
and plus you've got to think like me myself, I work better if someone kind of tells me what to do. Now this might not work for everybody, but for us, and obviously like me in particular, I like to kind of not be the boss but kind of guide them with more like an assertive attitude, because throughout life there's always someone that you kind of look up to, or there's always someone that kind of tells you what to do, like even in school and college and uni. But in network marketing, you're kind of expected to, right, you've got your franchise, off you go. But it doesn't kind of work like that, because that person didn't join Juice Plus, they joined you. They saw something special in you. So you do have a responsibility to an extent to actually help them, hold the hand and help them get started, because initially it is daunting, it is hard, it is, if you've never done anything like this. I've got no business experience, no marketing experience, nothing like that, but it's common sense, obviously, a lot of this business. But you do have to help new people, because in a way you're not only you helping them for your own business, but you're helping them for them because they've joined you. So you do have a responsibility to help them see what the goals are, write down their goals with them, and then you've got something to work towards that month, rather than just saying, oh hi, welcome to the business, and then off you go to do what you want. Because it is quite scary when you're initially starting and you don't have that guidance. So I always like to support them from the beginning, and all of the team do this as well, like to support them from the beginning, so that everyone knows that when you're part of, obviously when you're part of the female revolution, you are going to get full support from day one to get you started, get them first few, like the DD and the SDD promotion, get it reconfirmed. And then in the meantime, we do like training calls. So we do like 2 Zooms a week, just so that everyone still, there's that continuity going on, so that they can see our faces, that they can ask questions, they're not left on their own. And then we have a call at the end of the month. It's like twice a week, Wednesday and a Sunday. And then some of the leaders in the team are now doing them during the day as well. So again, the team is well supported like that. And it just creates that team bond, and everyone kind of gets on and knows each other, and knows that there's always someone in the team that'll help them.
I love that. Female Revolution, such a great name as well. And you're clearly building a movement, right? It's more than just a team, it's a movement. You're creating a movement of women working together and building business, and it's absolutely amazing, absolutely incredible. I've got so many questions coming up, and a lot of them are really specific. And I think, asking how many times you do specific things, and I really think it does vary person to person, right? How many times you post in the support group, how many times you do this, how many times you do that. So I'm not going to ask those specific questions, because there's no one answer to those questions. It does, well, for me, it varies person to person.
There you go, it varies person to person, and it just depends on you and how much time you've got, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself, and you don't want to do too little either. But you do have to be active. So for example, if you have got a support group, try to be active in there on a daily basis. Even when you've got kids, you might not have the time to be active in there all the time. But if you're adding customers in there, then you do have a responsibility to be looking after them. And obviously, like with our team group, we have our own WhatsApp team group as well, like just for those reps in our team. Obviously in there, that is active anyway, and new people can ask questions and etc. So that one obviously is always active. The customer groups are always active, but sometimes if you take a step back from your customer groups, you'll realize some of the customers help each other out. And again, that highlights who your good customers are, so that you can then actually approach them to join the business as well.
100%. The best customers always make, I think, the best distributors. And sometimes, like, obviously you're an amazing upline, and some people find themselves in a situation where they don't have an upline that will do all those things for them, or maybe they have a different relationship with their upline, or for whatever reason. But everyone joined the business for a reason, right? You saw a post that attracted you, I saw a post that attracted me, I bought the product because of a before and after picture. So it would make sense that people who are like me would also want to see result pictures, right? So everybody has that experience of why they bought the product or why they joined the business. So sharing the same stuff that attracted you to join the business, if you don't have that upline support or maybe that relationship where someone is guiding you, everybody joined the business for a reason, right? So you're just sharing those things to your audience, to people that would relate to you. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. Because like obviously my upline wasn't Ellie, even though everyone thinks it is. It was another girl, but I didn't get that guidance from her. But then that could have made me think, okay, that's it, I'm not going to do this business. But it didn't, because I wasn't in it for the finances anyway. But I could, for me, it's kind of like if you want something enough, you're going to do it regardless. So whether you've got the support or not, you're going to do it. For me, obviously, because of my experience when I started, I kind of took it upon myself that I'm not going to let that happen to anyone in my team. So we will try to support where we can, as long as the person's willing to be supported and wants our help, we will help them as much as we can. I always say we, because it's not just me, it's literally everybody in the team, like the leaders in the team, and not even the leaders, just generally everybody in the team will help each other out. So you don't necessarily need an amazing upline, but you've just got to have that belief in yourself that you do want this, and you need to realize why you started, and regardless of the obstacles that come in the way, you've just got to keep on going. Whether you've got an amazing upline or not, you yourself are amazing at what you do, so you've just got to believe in that and let that shine through, and you just have to create that team. You've got to go and build your own team, and you be the amazing upline, you know.
It's so true. It's so, so true. So I know you've taken up lots of your time, and I'm sure you've got loads of things that you could be doing. So I'm just going to ask you, so Ellie's talked about how you have developed so much as a person. You've talked a little bit about how you are really believing in yourself and how important that is. So do you do a lot of like education on network marketing or on building yourself? Do you read different books, or what is it that you would recommend people to do?
I think you have to look after yourself. I know some people are into reading and stuff like that. I mean, if I had the time, I would. But it is just me and my character. Like, I just think you have to believe in yourself, because this industry is hard. It's not the traditional 9 to 5. It does get frowned upon. People try to, you know, put it down, etc. But you've got to know the bigger picture. You've got to know why you started, and you've got to realize that you have, if you are not there, not, if you're not feeling 100%, you're not going to give 100%. So for me, obviously, I joined the gym last year. It was, I think, last April I joined the gym because I felt like I was getting overwhelmed with everything, and I just didn't have time for me. So I joined the gym, and I do go early morning. People think I'm crazy, but 6:30 to 7:30 before the kids are up. When I get back, I'm like, my mind is just fresh, I'm focused, I'm awake, I'm there for my kids, and we have breakfast together. Do something for you. I just think it's so, so important, because if you're not doing anything other than Juice Plus, it can become a chore, if that makes sense. And what you don't want it to become that way. And for me, I think it was becoming that. It was becoming too like a ritual. It was becoming too robotic. Every day I'm doing the same thing. I'm not getting the results that I want. I'm not getting the team that I'm wanting, etc. So I had to kind of take a step back and work on me as well as a person, because obviously if I'm not getting the team and I'm not where I'm supposed to be, it is because of me, if nobody else. So for me, I joined the gym, focused on myself, gave myself some time, because it's obviously, I've got 3 kids, they are a handful, and I do a lot of things single-handedly at home. And I just think if you work on yourself, you're going to feel good. That's going to ooze out of you when you're training your team, and when you're with your team, and when you're with your customers, because your brain's just more alert and you just feel good. So I definitely think you have to work on yourself. If you're not feeling passionate about the business, and you're not feeling like, if you're not getting up on a morning and thinking, oh my God, I need to check my inbox and to check in on my team, something needs to change. You're going to have to work on yourself, whether that's reading a book. I think in terms of confidence, I definitely recommend YouTube. There's some really good motivational videos on there. For me, I like, for some of my team that lack confidence, I never ever say to them, go sit there for an hour and watch a YouTube video, because I wouldn't personally do that myself. Like an hour is just too long. There's really good ones at like 8-9 minutes, and that to me is enough for you to then slowly build on that. So maybe watching, taking out 10 minutes of your time is more achievable than 100, not 100, an hour out of your time. Do you know what I mean? So I just think definitely work on yourself. If it's motivation that you need, if it's confidence that you need, everything is there at your fingertips. It's free. It's on YouTube. There's books. There's audios that you can get. So nothing, you don't have to invest massively. You just have to pick the right things that work for you.
Definitely. I love the little 10-15 minute videos on YouTube, and sometimes if I'm driving to an event, I'll just chuck one of those on to listen to get me hyped up before the event. But everything you said just makes total sense, and it's simple, but it's just amazing. And what you've built and what you've created is nothing short of incredible. Thank you so much for just sharing so honestly and openly with everybody tonight, and I know it's been so appreciated. I can't wait to see what you ladies achieve this year. It's nothing short of going to be insane, I'm sure. So yeah, thank you so much. Everybody's so grateful, and I'm sure we'll catch up very soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emma. Thank you, everyone.
All right, bye.
Bye.